city of Seattle, one of the nicest places in our country, is being destroyed by the people who run it. Seattle marked its 55th murder of the year yesterday. That's set a new 10-year record. But that doesn't stop the mayor of Seattle, Jenny Durkin, from supporting a new city budget that will reduce the budget for the police department by nearly 20%. Hard to believe that. Meanwhile, in San Jose, California, officials have learned that an illegal alien who allegedly went on a deadly stabbing spree at a local church have been deported 3 times in recent years and apparently came back to stab people. In a lot of places in this country, the violence is completely out of control. It's crushingly sad, and it's causing massive demographic changes in this country. People are fleeing. We've got to stop this. How can we do that? Heather McDonald is a senior fellow at the Manhattan Institute, author of the book, The War on Cops. We're happy to have her always, and especially tonight. Heather, thanks for coming on. What do we do about this?
Well, we changed the narrative. What we're seeing with these, we're going to see the biggest one-year increase in homicides and shootings in this country, Tucker, in decades. And that's a predictable result of a fatal lie which holds that policing is systemically racist. Joe Biden embraced that lie during his campaign. He's embraced it after the election, and it will become the touchstone of his Justice Department. It is completely untrue. The problem in this country is criminals, not cops. Cops are the solution. But as long as you go about telling cops incessantly, as we heard in Seattle, as we've heard in Louisville, in Chicago, New York, you name it, that cops are racist for going after criminals, they are going to back off. Cops in this country are demoralized, they're defunded, they're being assaulted on a daily basis, and when cops back off of policing, you don't get some Pacific nirvana, some post-racial nirvana, you get anarchy and chaos. Last month in November, there was a 5-year-old boy in Chicago who was shot in the head in his home by a thug who drove by and just sprayed bullets willy-nilly at the house. You had a cop last week who was dragged after a car stop, fracturing his skull in 3 places. This is not going to stop, Tucker, unless more people stand up and say the cops are not the problem, they're the solution.
It seems like any politician who is awake, and not a guilty white liberal as so many of them are in both parties, would understand that people of all colors and backgrounds support order and hate violence. So why aren't there more politicians rushing forward to take advantage of this opportunity?
It's completely bizarre. It turns out that ideology trumps common sense, and it trumps, for a very long time, people's own sense of comfort and their own desires, because a lot of these politicians who have been demonizing the cops have been reelected because people would rather embrace the idea that they are alone in fighting racism. It makes them feel virtuous, and frankly, the other reason, Tucker, is the vast majority of crime is happening in inner city neighborhoods. It's the class divide that you talked about before. It's also a race divide. This isn't going to change until white kids start getting shot in their homes at night.
Yeah. It's really a sick religion. It's all over the Anglo world, too. It's not just the United States. There's something really dark going on. Heather McDonald, I appreciate your coming on tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Tucker.